Morning, getting ready for a good hard day of painting, garden preparation, tomato planting, and just, everyday chores. And it's a hot one. Humid, my goodness, and this early in the morning, it's gonna be a hot one. Talk to you in a minute after I eat this great food. Get me some biscuits and grits going. Okay, I'm getting ready to plant some tomatoes. I'm going to be planting my tomatoes in an odd place in between some rows of corn. The corn has already begun to tossle, already begun to make corn, and would think within a month I would have my corn and the corn stalks would be spent. I can cut them down and I'd have already established tomatoes in between the rows. I have enough room in between the rows to do this, so when I plant my tomatoes, this is a mixture of lime and gypsum. Put that down in the soil to reduce the possibility of top rot or bloom rot in my tomatoes, and that seems to work. And then I have this magic dirt I mixed up, which is a combination of compost, cow manure, blood meal, bone meal, lime, gypsum, biotone, which contains mycorrhizalia, which I'll also be putting down in the soil for the roots to touch as I plant them. That will get the whole microorganism process started. And I have this rock dust I put down. This rock dust has like 70 trace minerals that you won't find in the soil normally, because the soil's usually been depleted of the minerals from either over gardening or just not being composted, but really like to use these, and the biotone it's high in nitrogen, or not high in nitrogen, like 4% nitrogen, but it has a lot of fungi in it. That the fungi will feed the plant. It'll go out into the soil and bring back the nutrients and give to the plant, and the plant will in turn feed the fungi. That's microorganisms, and then you have the bigger organisms, the worms and the things that live in the soil that help keep the soil soft and composted and alive. I tried to mulch around my tomato plants with bamboo leaves. I've heard that bamboo is the plant that is going to save the planet. So I'm doing my part. But what I'm going to do with my magic dirt, I'm going to put it in a bucket and put my rock dust in with it and mix it up so that it'll be there together, and then I'll save my biotone and my lime to put in separate. Mix this up real good. I had a I have a neighbor that was telling me, oh man, when I plant my tomatoes plants, I get my septic tank cleaned out. And I just put human waste right at the root. Man, don't do that. You could kill yourself. Anyway, mix this up real good. So when I plant the plants, I water them with rainwater, caught rainwater. I don't use water out of the faucet because water around here has chlorine, and I think, as we know, chlorine will kill the microorganisms. I've got some of these Cherokee tomatoes I just got to get in the ground. These are about 2.5 foot tall already, so they're ready for the ground big time. Some of them may not be quite that tall. This one's like a little over a foot. But I'll get me some Cherokee purple. I'll go ahead and get these smaller ones and get them in the ground. I'm probably going to be planting about 20 or more, so I don't have to be real picky about which ones I get. They still have plenty of growing season, so I'm going to get some Cherokee purple. And then I've got some brandywine. I need to get them in the ground, get them going. So these are some smaller ones. I've got some a little bigger. But I'll be loading up my tomatoes and I'll join you down at the garden. Okay, so I'm here in the garden in between the corn. See, my corn is putting on ears. It won't be too very long before I start having a crop of corn. Big sunflower going on there. Alright, I've dug me a hole. I've got my tomato plants here. And what I usually do is crumble me up some good loose soil. And the gypsum that I have mixed in with my lime helps to refurbish hard clay soil, soil that's been contaminated, things like that. Alright, I put me some good fresh dirt in there, and then the first thing I put down is some lime. Sprinkle some lime in there to keep down the top rot. And then I'll put in my mix here. This is the magic dirt I had mixed in with my rock dust. I'll put that down. Then I want to put just a little bit of this biotone powder down so that the roots will touch it, and that'll get everything going there. Then I want to take my plant out of the pot. It's kind of hard to do here holding with one hand, so I'm going to set the camera down for a second. Take my plant out, and as you see the roots system around through there, I want those roots to be touching in that biotone. Set it down in there just like that. And then I'm going to soften the dirt, put it in around it. Don't want no big heavy clumps. I want everything to be loose dirt around my newly planted tomato plants. One thing I didn't tell you about the water, I told you I used rainwater. Now some people plant their plants fairly deep. I just get them a little deeper than they were in the pot, and they seem to do fine. You know, they have where you can even cut a 5-gallon bucket out around it, cut off the bottom limbs and fill it full of dirt, and all that'll turn to root. And you're supposed to have a bigger, stronger plant. But once I get it in like that, I take this water that I have caught from rainwater, plus I have added unsulfured molasses, like 1 tablespoon per gallon. And I want to water this in real well with my special water, and that plant should thrive. So that's the way I plant my tomatoes, and I'm going to be planting about 20 or 40 here in the next hour or so. So hope my video, I'm not going to say taught you something, but I showed you how I plant my tomatoes, and I usually have success with them. So happy gardening, and see you later. One other thing, once I get my tomatoes planted, I like to mulch around them with some good, well, this is actually bamboo and pine straw leaves. It seems to work just great. I came out here less than a week ago, maybe about a week ago. This plant was probably knee high. That's my knee right there. And had thought about putting on some blooms. Now it's waist high, getting a lot of blooms on it. The stalk is getting tremendously thick, and that's some of my Cherokee purples. Can't wait till I start getting good ripe tomatoes. Now I've got a watermelon here just starting. I hope to see it take off like lightning in a rainstorm. Peace, love, justice, understanding, music, gardening, and friends.